Hi, I'm Jennifer from Shabby Fabrics, and today I'm going to show you how to make a three-dimensional fabric snowflake. These are hot on Pinterest right now. You've probably seen them. But these have been made out of paper, and of course the paper is very crushable. They almost don't store very well. They have to be pretty much hanging, and of course you're limited by what papers may be out there. But again, with fabric, it's unlimited, the potential. So let me show you how we do this. The product that I used to stiffen the fabric was Heat and Bond, the Ultra Hold. Now Heat and Bond comes in a variety of adhesions, from feather light to Ultra Hold. Make sure you get the Ultra Hold. We have it available on the website, and because it gives the fabric the stiffest characteristics and it gives it the most body. Now look at these back here. Are these beautiful? These are just two fabrics, and you only need about a 7-inch strip of two fabrics across the width of the fabric. So when we made our first snowflakes, I picked two blues, and as you can see here, there's not a lot of contrast. We picked fabrics that had more contrast, and it was kind of more dramatic. So for today, the two fabrics that we will be using will be a blue glitter. This is Fairy Frost by Micah Miller, and this gorgeous kind of mottled blue floral that I thought was just really pretty and would give us a lot of nice contrast. So to get started, what I did with the Heat and Bond is I cut it in 7-inch squares, and then I also cut my fabric in 7-inch squares, and I've done that ahead of time, and I ironed that down. Then, once those have cooled, you will simply peel off your paper, and you can see the shininess. That's the glue. Now you may want to put something down on your ironing board. I did this the first time and the glue kind of oozed out the side and it made a little bit of a mess on my ironing board. So you might want to put something down like paper towels or something like that. And also on top, you may want to put something so it doesn't get on your ironing board or on your iron. You'll place the two wrong sides together with the glue and simply iron them together on a medium heat for, I don't know, 6 to 8 seconds until they're together. Let that cool. You will then bring that to your cutting mat, and you will cut them to 6 inches square, which I've done ahead of time to save time. Now this is where the whole thing happens. It doesn't matter whether I fold it this way or I fold it this way. That part doesn't matter. So I'll just fold this way on the diagonal, and you want to get as precise as you possibly can. Then I'm going to fold it again. Now note that I've got the rounded side and then I've got these two flaps. Make sure when you lay that on your cutting mat that the folded side is toward you and that the two open sides are away from you. And then using your ruler, and I love this Olfa 6.5-inch ruler just for projects like this. Of course I have a big 6 by 24-inch ruler, but on little projects it's so much easier to manage a small ruler like this. So let's get this lined up, and it's a little bit bulky. Of course the ruler is going to ride up on top of the fabric and hold that as steady as you can. And what I'm measuring over is 3/4 of an inch. So I'm starting on my right side, measuring over 3/4 of an inch, and I can see that on my ruler here. Now I'm not going to cut all the way through. I'm going to cut until I'm about a 1/2 inch from the end. So don't go too fast. You need to really control this. About like that. And then I'll measure over 3/4 of an inch again. And I will repeat that. I'll just check it. And if you need to go a little deeper, just go in there and go a little bit deeper. And then for my last cut, I will do another measure over 3/4 of an inch again. Oh, about right like that. So we will open this up, and that's what that looks like. Now to do the three-dimensional snowflake, there's 6 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you will repeat this process a total of 6 times. Now, let me show you what to do once you get your all 6 cut out. This is the coolest part. You'll need a glue gun, and some glue sticks. You can probably do one whole ornament with a glue stick, but of course have some ready because you are definitely not going to stop at one once you get this, once you see how beautiful they are. So looking at this, at the snowflake again, there's 4 sections. You can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you choose this to be your center, you're going to fold this over like this. If you choose that to be your center, that will happen in this as well, and I'll explain that a little bit more as we go on. But as you can see, if you want this to be on the outside, whatever you want to be on the outside, that will not be your center. If you want this on the outside, you need to start with the opposite fabric. So if I like the glitter to be on the outside, and I do, I'm gonna start with the opposite fabric being my first fold. Now I'm going to put a little bit of bead of glue right there, and I'm going to just fold that over. Because the fabric is very thick with the heat and bond, I really don't even almost feel any heat, so you can get right in there. You're not going to burn yourself. So that's how it looks to begin with. Now we're going to flip it over and we will go the opposite direction. Now there's kind of a natural fold because we had folded the fabric. I'm just going to go down that little valley with some glue. I will bring that tip over to the point where there's the valley. And do you see how this fabric and this fabric kind of just seamlessly continue and this seamlessly continues? That's what you're looking for. That'll give you the most symmetry with your snowflake. So we'll flip it over again. Put some glue. It looks like I got a little bit much. That's okay. And again, I'm going to adjust that so that this just kind of keeps continuing. I don't want to get something off like this. So get that straightened, and this continues like this. And then for the last one, here we go. You will repeat this exact same process for the other 5 so that you have a total of 6. So that's what this looks like at this point. So I've done those ahead of time, and let's bring those out now. And this is where you will actually assemble your snowflake. So we're done with the rotary cutter. Okay, so if you look at your section, there's the short side and there's the taller side. We always want to keep that consistent throughout our snowflake. I have the big side on the right. I'm going to maintain that. I'm just going to lay out my shapes like this so that I glue everything together. I like to do that ahead of time so that I don't glue anything incorrectly together. You can see how it's beginning to form. So how do we glue this together? There's the top 3 and the bottom 3 sections. I like to work in the upper portion, then the bottom portion, and then we put everything together. So let me put these aside for the moment. We're going to put glue in this little intersection in the shape of a square. And then I will grab my next section, almost from inside, and I meet those up. So again, you can see that one just transitions to the other. It's like it can continue it. You want to make sure you're nice and lined up. That will help your snowflake, again, have this great symmetry. So repeat that. Making sure that the big side is on my right. Let's line that all up. Okay. That's my top portion of my snowflake. We will repeat that for the bottom. And again, we want to make sure, we'll just do it exactly the same way, that the big portion is on the right. Okay. Oop, got mine off a little bit. But you know, with the hot glue, you've got, the nice thing is let's say you didn't glue it right. No biggie. Just take it apart, peel off the glue, re-glue it. Not a big deal. With paper, I made a mistake when I was making a sample out of paper. Tried to take it apart, I destroyed my snowflake. So that's the great part about using fabric to make the three-dimensional snowflakes, is you can just peel it apart and make a correction if you need to. But with the paper, it's so fragile, it just, of course, ripped. Okay, we're on our last portion. All right. So now I have my upper portion and I have my lower portion. As you can see, the centers have to come together. So let's put a little bit of glue right here. And we will line that up. See how those points all, you can't even really tell there's two layers there anymore. We'll do it again with our next one. And the glue dries so fast. Let's repeat that process for this one. Oh, looks like I need a new glue stick. That's why you need glue sticks handy. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I've got my upper portion and I've got my lower portion. Now, I've seen two different ways when I was working with the paper and practicing. You could either do these two sides and then attach the center last, or attach the center to the center like this now and attach the two sides. I don't think there's really a difference. You may feel after you've made a snowflake or two that you have a preference. I think today I'll go for doing the sides, and then wherever the center naturally lands, then I'll put a drop of glue. So I'm going to try that approach today. Okay. So line that up really good, just like you've done all the others. And then we'll do the other side. And then where that center naturally lands, if you can see that, I'm going to put a little bit of glue in here. Line that up. Adjust anything as necessary. And our snowflake is complete from the assembly standpoint. To display your beautiful snowflake, you can put a little hole punch in the top with some ribbon. Give it a little bit of a punch there. Get a little bit of ribbon. That doesn't want to come off real easily. A little bit of ribbon. Of course, just string that through, hang it up, and then you have a beautiful snowflake just like that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to make three-dimensional fabric snowflakes.